And before you get on social media, TV, YouTube, talking about what you think you know, maybe reach out to the people that you're about to talk about and ask maybe if it's true or not. Because it can land you in trouble when you speak of people that's not true.
After years of standing in Maurice's shadow, Kimmy has finally stepped into the spotlight. And trust me, nobody saw this coming. The courtroom wasn't just a place for justice. It became Kimmy's stage for a powerful comeback. So what did she win? And how did she pull it off? Turns out Kimmy wasn't just battling behind closed doors. She was quietly gearing up for a legal fight that would change everything. And according to court documents, Kimmy filed for a legal separation from Maurice earlier this year. But things escalated fast when she accused him of hiding assets. Yep, Maurice allegedly moved money into secret accounts and even transferred property to relatives to keep it out of Kimmy's hands. But Kimmy wasn't playing. She came prepared, dropping receipts that exposed every shady move. And in court, she didn't just ask for what she was owed, she demanded back pay for contributions she made to Maurice's businesses, claiming she worked without proper compensation, while he built his empire with her help. The judge sided with Kimmy on multiple counts, awarding her a sizable financial settlement and partial ownership in one of Maurice's key business ventures. And get this legal win doesn't just shift their bank accounts. It could shake up their roles on Love and Marriage, Huntsville. 2. Fans are already wondering, how will Maurice bounce back? Will Kimmy's victory fuel more on-camera drama? Or will this be her moment to finally break free from Maurice's shadow?
A lot that you guys didn't see. However, in the moment that I acted, I was acting to protect the situation, protect my brother from further harm.
First glance, Kimmy and Maurice seemed like the ultimate power couple. They weren't just husband and wife. They were business partners, co-owners of ventures, and shared the kind of polished, united front that Love and Marriage Huntsville fans admired. They worked side by side, balancing their professional goals with their marriage. On camera, they gave off the vibe of a team that had each other's backs no matter what. To the fans, their relationship looked solid. But while the cameras captured the smiles and supportive words, something else was brewing behind the scenes. Little by little, cracks started showing. Maurice began making strange financial decisions, investing in new projects without really looping Kimmy in, moving money between accounts she didn't even know existed, and signing contracts without her input. At first, Kimmy brushed it off. She told herself Maurice was just handling business, that he was under pressure, and maybe didn't want to burden her. But then came the distance. Fans watching the latest season started picking up on the tension. There were awkward silences, in scenes where Kimmy and Maurice used to banter playfully. Their conversations seemed stiffer, more transactional. In one episode, Kimmy even questioned a decision Maurice made about one of his real estate deals, and his dismissive response didn't go unnoticed. Viewers started wondering, were they really on the same page anymore? But those awkward silences, turns out, they were hiding something much deeper. And Kimmy was quietly putting the pieces together. It wasn't just about feeling left out of decisions. Kimmy started noticing small things that didn't add up. One day, while reviewing household finances, she stumbled across a series of bank transactions she didn't recognize. Large sums were being moved in and out of accounts she didn't have access to. She also found documents with her signature on them, except she didn't remember signing them. When she confronted Maurice about the transactions, he brushed it off, calling it business stuff she didn't need to worry about. He reassured her that everything was fine, that it was all part of managing their growing portfolio. But the more he downplayed it, the more Kimmy's gut told her something wasn't right. Determined to get answers, Kimmy quietly hired a private forensic accountant to comb through their finances. It wasn't a decision she made lightly, but she felt she owed it to herself to know the truth. And that decision changed everything. The accountant's investigation uncovered a pattern of shady activity. There were forged signatures on key documents, contracts that gave Maurice sole ownership of properties they were supposed to co-own. Some properties had even been transferred to trusts controlled by Maurice's relatives, effectively cutting Kimmy out without her knowledge. The deeper they looked, the more it became clear. This wasn't a misunderstanding or sloppy paperwork. It was deliberate. At that moment, Kimmy realized this wasn't just bad bookkeeping. This was betrayal on a whole new level. And she knew she couldn't stay silent any longer.
I've been around Martell and her.
I didn't see their interactions. So I didn't see she makes me feel this way or whatever, right? In that situation, I told Martell, bro, this is not it. Going forward, I'm not leaving a party because somebody's cheating. No, I'm not.
So do you come home and then call the person that's getting cheated on?
No, you'll never hear me call somebody and say, hey man, or hey lady, your guy's cheating on you.
I don't disagree. I'm not saying that you would.
Oh.
What I am saying is that you don't sit and be complicit in it as far as finishing out the evening. Because I wouldn't want the person that I'm friends with to think that I think this is okay. Even after the words come out of my mouth, your actions speak louder than words.
I believe that actions speak louder than words as well. And I don't know how many phone calls I've had with Melody and Martell about their situation.
Hear what you're saying, and it doesn't change my opinion.
Yeah, we're at an impasse.
Kimmy had been dealing with the emotional toll of Maurice's betrayal quietly for months, but now it was time to take action. Kimmy knew she couldn't just let this slide. She reached out to a lawyer, someone she trusted, to help her navigate the complex web of deception Maurice had spun. Together, they started gathering documentation, bank records, signed agreements, contracts. Everything Maurice had tried to bury. While Maurice was away, Kimmy worked in silence, putting the pieces together. She didn't let him see the determination building in her. She contacted authorities and took steps to protect her interests. Every document she collected was carefully filed away, ready for the moment she would take the next step. And then came the key moment. Kimmy finally handed over the evidence-forged signatures, proof of unauthorized deals, shady financial transactions. Everything pointed directly to Maurice. Kimmy wasn't just protecting herself anymore. She was laying the groundwork for a legal battle that would shake Maurice to his core. The calm, collected woman in front of the authorities was no longer the wife who'd been blind to the truth. She was a woman taking back control of her life. And with every document she handed over, Kimmy wasn't just protecting herself. She was building the case that would turn Maurice's world upside down.
Saying that this is all the reason, but True T has really done an amazing thing for Miss Black Titanic, and I appreciate that. And it's always good to see creators supporting other creators. But child, y'all go over there and listen to this, because this right here is the clown of
Dear
the
baby,
year.
Maurice had no idea what was coming. One day, he was living his life as though everything was normal, and the next, he was blindsided. Legal papers were served, and suddenly he found himself in the middle of a lawsuit he never saw coming. The court case was a whirlwind. The charges were serious: fraud, forged documents, and the misuse of Kimmy's name. Maurice's world, built on deceit and manipulation, was coming apart. His defense? It was a tangled mess of half-truths and blatant lies, but the evidence against him was undeniable. The courtroom buzzed with tension as Kimmy sat there, poised and resolute. She had stepped away from the chaos and into a new role, that of a key witness, a woman who was no longer afraid of the truth. When Kimmy took the stand, the room fell silent. Her testimony was sharp, direct, and filled with the raw truth of her experience. It wasn't just a recounting of betrayal, it was a declaration of her strength, her resilience, and her determination to take back what was hers. The impact was immediate. Maurice's lawyer struggled to counter her testimony, and his facade of innocence crumbled before everyone's eyes. Kimmy wasn't just a wife testifying against her husband. She was a woman reclaiming her power and her future. And when Kimmy took the stand, it wasn't just testimony. It was a moment of reclaiming her power, her truth, and her future.
But what I'm saying, nobody knows what I did when I left, and nobody knows what he did when he left. It's speculation.
The court ruling was a game changer. Kimmy walked out victorious, with financial restitution in her hands and her name cleared of any association with Maurice's shady dealings. More than that, she was protected from his growing mountain of debts she never agreed to. Maurice, on the other hand, was facing serious legal consequences, heavy fines, and possibly even jail time. The public response was immediate and overwhelmingly supportive of Kimmy. Fans rallied behind her, applauding her strength and resilience. One person commented saying, "Kimmy has been the real one. She carried herself with grace and still came out on top. That's how you do it." Another wrote, "Maurice thought he could play Kimmy like she was naive, but she flipped the script on him and came out swinging. Even some of her castmates on love and marriage. Huntsville reacted surprised by how far she was willing to go to reclaim her life. But while Kimmy walked out of court victorious, one question remained. What's next for her, and what's left for Maurice? With the legal battle behind her, Kimmy now had a clear path forward. Fans were curious. Would she continue her business ventures? Was there a future for her with Maurice, or was a separation or even divorce on the horizon? It was clear that Kimmy was determined to carve out a new future, and the possibilities seemed endless. As for Maurice, his options were much more limited. His legal team would likely file an appeal, but it seemed unlikely they could reverse the damage. Would he try to salvage his public image with a statement, or make an appearance on the show? That remained to be seen. This case also shifted the dynamic on love and marriage. Huntsville. Fans were paying closer attention to the relationships on the show, and Kimmy's strength in the courtroom would no doubt influence the way cast members interacted with her moving forward. One thing's for sure. Kimmy didn't just survive Maurice's deception, she turned it into a powerful win. And the world's watching what she'll do next. Were you shocked by Kimmy's bold moves? Do you think she did the right thing turning Maurice in? Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.